My name is Adrian Voss, former engineer, former soldier, current nobody. I lived on Outpost Arion 9, the kind of half-finished orbital platform people only moved to when they were running away from something. I worked maintenance jobs, fixing broken conduits, patching oxygen leaks, carrying fusion coils across narrow catwalks. It was simple, peaceful, predictable, until the warships arrived. I was 30 meters up on a scaffolding, welding a cracked panel, when the shadows fell across the station. Dozens of ships, sleek, silver, curved like blades, slid silently out of warp. They moved with the coordination of a school of fish, beautiful and terrifying at once. Someone near me whispered, "Are those Valyrian ships?" My heart froze. The Valyrians were a reclusive, ancient alien empire, brilliant, feared, and ruled by a monarch whose name no one dared speak. They didn't visit human space. They didn't talk to humans. They viewed us as primitives barely worth acknowledging, which meant only one thing. This was not a diplomatic visit. Alarms began blaring. The station suspended operations. Docking clamps locked. Defense drones armed themselves. I climbed down the scaffolding just as the platform-wide announcement came on. All personnel, remain where you are. An unauthorized Valyrian strike fleet has entered our sector. People panicked. Some fled. Others froze.
Me?
I felt something strange, faint, old, like a memory brushing past my mind. Blue stardust. A woman collapsing into my arms.
No.
Impossible. The Valyrian flagship approached the station docking bay. And then, without warning, a single shuttle detached from it and headed toward us. It wasn't an attack. It was a visit. The shuttle docked with an elegant hiss. The airlock doors opened, and out stepped a figure who made the entire station fall silent. She was tall, easily 7 feet. Her skin shimmered like faint pearl, her hair a cascade of white fire. Her eyes glowed faintly violet. She wore armor woven from light itself. And the moment she saw me, she walked straight toward me, ignoring everyone else. The armed guards around her hesitated, unsure if they should block her path, but one look from her sent them stumbling back. She stopped 1 meter from me, close enough for me to feel her presence like gravity. Then she spoke. "Do you remember me, human?" Her voice was soft but carried the weight of galaxies. I stared at her, speechless. Her expression wavered, just a flicker of uncertainty, almost hope. Who are you?" I whispered. Her lips parted in something between a smile and a sigh. "I am Queen Seralith of the Valyrian Ascendancy. And long ago, you saved me." The world tilted. I remembered. The crash. The battlefield. The woman who fell from the sky. She hadn't been a soldier. She had been the princess. And now, she was the queen. Middle. They escorted me to the station's private conference hall. Well, she escorted me, and her guards followed, terrified to interrupt her. The moment the doors closed, Seralith turned toward me, studying my face in silence. Her eyes softened, losing their royal hardness, replaced by something achingly familiar. "You truly don't remember all of it?" she asked quietly. I swallowed. "Only pieces." She stepped closer. "Then allow me." She raised a single glowing hand and touched my forehead. My mind exploded with memory. Not pain, but light. The battlefield, a rogue faction attacking the Valyrian capital moon. I'd been part of a neutral engineering team caught in the chaos. A shuttle crashed near me. Inside, her. Wounded, scared, alone. I had carried her to shelter. Protected her. Fought off attackers. Kept her alive until Valyrian reinforcements arrived. I had saved her life. And then her people wiped the memories from every human present, for security reasons. She had fought the council, but she was young then, powerless. Now she was queen, and she wanted her memory of me back. When she pulled her hand away, I gasped. The memories were whole again, sharp as knives. You were the girl who held my hand when you thought you were dying. She breathed out, relieved. Yes. You promised you'd find me again. Her voice trembled. Yes. I sank into a chair, overwhelmed. Saralith, why come all this way? Why bring an entire fleet? Her eyes darkened. Because your world is in danger. My blood ran cold. She conjured a hologram in the air, an image of a massive, serpentine machine coiled around a dying star. The Arephage swarm, she said. A machine intelligence that consumes entire star systems. It has awakened. It is moving toward your sector. I stared at the hologram. And you're here to warn humanity? I'm here, she said softly, because I owe you. Without you, I would never have ascended. The ascendancy would have fallen into civil war. You did not just save me, you saved my people. The weight of her words crushed the breath from my lungs. And then she added, I will not let the Arephage take your world. I shook my head. Then what do you need from me? She hesitated. Then, you know the human mind. Your insight helped me survive once. I need your voice among my council. Will you come with me to the fleet? I blinked. Me? A maintenance worker? To me, she said, stepping close enough that her glow warmed my skin. You are far more. The room went silent. The choice sat heavy in the air. And deep inside, something long asleep in me awoke. Okay, I whispered. I'll go. Saralitha's eyes brightened, an emotion like joy flickering through them. Come, she said softly. We must hurry. The Valyrian fleet, their flagship, the Astrolith, was unlike anything I had ever seen. An organic starship grown from crystalline vines, pulsing with bioluminescent veins. The interior felt alive, responding to Saralitha's presence like a creature greeting its queen. Her council waited for us, 7 tall, stern Valyrians who did not look pleased. One of them, Lord Varikos, scowled. Your Majesty, bringing a human aboard is... Saralith cut him off. He is under my protection. The Ascendancy may not approve. If they object, she said coldly, they may challenge my throne. Silence. Even I flinched at that. The council briefed us. The Arephage swarm had devoured 3 outer colonies already. It was learning, adapting, and its trajectory pointed directly toward the Arion system. My home. I listened, horrified. When they finished, Saralith turned to me. Adrian, what do your people do when facing a threat like this? I thought of humanity. Our stubbornness, our refusal to surrender, our messy courage. We fight, I said, even when we're outmatched, even when we're scared. She smiled faintly. Then we will fight with you. The approach of death hours later, the warning came. The Arephage swarm has entered the sector. Space ripped open like a wound. The machine swarm poured out. Thousands of metallic serpents made of interlocking plates, each 1 kilometer long, glowing with molten fissures. The fleet braced for combat. Saralith stood at the command dais, regal and unshaken. I stood beside her, heart pounding. Adrian, she said, her voice steady, I need your mind clear. Do you trust me? I looked at her, at the woman whose life I had saved. At the queen who had come across galaxies to repay the debt. Yes. Her hand brushed mine, deliberate, warm, grounding. Then the battle began. The Valyrian fleet moved like a living organism, ships weaving around each other, forming shields, firing arcs of plasma channeled through ionized light. The Arephage responded instantly, adapting, rerouting, splitting apart to overwhelm flanks. Explosions lit the void. The station where I had lived trembled under the shockwaves. Amid the chaos, I saw something. The Arephage weren't attacking randomly. They were concentrating fire on the flagship. Seralith, they're targeting you. I know. Her eyes glowed brighter, channeling energy into the ship's living core. We must strike at their hive node, she said, pointing at the massive central machine. If it falls, the swarm collapses. The problem? It was too heavily shielded. Unless, what if we overload the astrolith's core and release the burst through the hull's crystal lattice? I asked. A focused energy spike directly into the node. Her council stared as if I were insane. Seralith, however, considered it. It could work, she whispered, but the core would collapse. The ship would be destroyed. And you with it, Lord Varikos growled. Unacceptable. Seralith looked at me. Adrian, you know what this means. I felt the implication like a punch. She was willing to die to save my world. Maybe because of me. I shook my head. There has to be another way. She stepped closer, lowering her voice. You once risked your life for mine. Let me do the same. My throat tightened. Seralith, her hand touched my cheek, so gentle it ached. Do you remember what you said to me when I was dying? She whispered. I did. I had said, please don't die. Someone out there needs you. Her eyes shimmered. Now, someone needs you. And before I could argue, she gave the order. The climax, the astrolith's core began to glow, the entire ship trembling as it charged more energy than it was ever meant to hold. Core overload in 40 seconds, the ship announced. The swarm closed in, sensing the danger. Seralith, I shouted, grabbing her hand. We're out of time. How do we get you out of here? Her expression softened with something painfully tender. I'm not going. Yes, you are, I yelled. I'm not losing you again. She smiled. Not the smile of a queen, but of the young woman I'd once carried through a battlefield. I crossed galaxies to honor my promise. I found you. I stood before you again. Her voice broke. That is enough. I grabbed her shoulders. Seralith, don't do this. Adrian, the ship shook violently. The core was seconds from collapse. And then something inside me snapped. No, I whispered. If you stay, I stay. Her eyes widened, horrified. Adrian, you must live. I leaned forward, pressing my forehead to hers. No more debts, I said. No more saving each other. We finish this together. Her breath caught, and for the first time, Queen Seralith looked afraid. Not of death. Of losing me. The countdown blared. 10, 9, 8. She closed her eyes, made a decision, and everything changed. Ending at 1 second to detonation, Seralith thrust her hand forward, tearing open a rift in space, a teleportation breach powered by the last of her strength. She shoved me through it. I screamed as reality folded around me. In a flash of blue light, I was hurled onto a drifting escape pod far from the battle. No and no, Seralith. Through the viewport, I saw the astrolith flare with impossible brilliance. The energy burst lanced across space, piercing the Arephage hive node straight through the core. The entire swarm convulsed, collapsed, turned to dust. Humanity was saved, but the flagship and Seralith were gone. I fell to my knees inside the pod, teeth clenched, tears blurring the stars. She had repaid her debt. She had saved my world. She had kept her promise to see me again, only to vanish forever. Or so I believed. Days later, drifting among the rescue fleet, A soft hum filled the pod. Blue light gathered in the center of the cabin. A hologram? A message?
No.
A voice.
Soft.
Familiar. Do you remember me, human? I froze. The light formed into her silhouette, flickering, unstable, but undeniably her. Seralith.
Alive.
She smiled gently. My body is gone, but my consciousness survived in the astrolith's core memories. I am not dead. Not yet. If you wish it, I can be reborn. A new form. A new life. With you. My heart slammed against my ribs. Yes, I whispered. I wish it. Her image leaned closer, her voice barely a breath. Then wait for me, Adrian Voss. I will return. The light faded, but her promise did not. And as the stars stretched before me, I knew the truth.